right, this is our second grade math lesson 5-7. Yuri found 86 minus 29 using mental math. That means doing it in his head. He changed 29 so it would be easier to find the difference. Show how Yuri could have found the difference. Explain how he used mental math. So let's see, I know that we've been breaking apart numbers. So 86 minus 29, we can break our 29 into 20 plus 9. So 86 minus, and I know we're going to do that one also, 86 minus 20, I'm going to just go backwards, 86, 76, 66 is 66. And we know that when we break apart our ones, we need a 6 here. So 6 plus 3 equals 9. So we did our counting back 20. And then we need to do 66 minus 6 equals 60. And then 60 minus 3, I'm going to count backwards, 60, 59, 58, 57 equals 57. Okay? So that was one way that he did his mental math. He counted backwards 20, backwards 6, and backwards 3. All right, let's go ahead and turn it over to our back page and take a look at our comic strip over here. Okay, 43 minus 18 equals. You can use compensation to make numbers that are easier to subtract. It is easier to subtract 20 than 18 because it's two groups of 10. One way, add 2 to both numbers, then subtract using mental math. So we have 43 minus 18. Well, 18 plus 2 will get us 20. But whatever we do to one side, we need to do to the other side. So 43 plus 2 is 45. And so 45 minus 20 is 25, which is exactly the same as 43 minus 18 equals 25. We just put it into groups that are easier for us to add in our head. Another way, add 2 to 18, then subtract using mental math. Then add 2 to find the answer. So what you could do is you could do it just on one side, but if you don't do it on both sides, you need to subtract it when you get down to the end. All right, let's take a look at this. Do you understand? Show me. Mark says to find 63 minus 13, it's easier to subtract 10 instead of 13. He says if you subtract 3 from 13 to get 10, you must subtract 3 more to get your answer. Do you agree? Explain. Well, yes, because if we subtracted 10 instead of 13, we still need to subtract that other 3, right? So yes, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is 61 minus 10 equals 51. That was easy. We can just do that in our head. But that's not what it's asking. It's asking us for 61 minus 13. So we're going to do 51 minus 3, and we're going to count backwards. 51, 50, 49, 48. 48. If you look right here, that 10 and 3 is the same as the 13. So that's just what we're doing on that. Do you understand? Show me. All right, our guided practice. Use compensation to make numbers that are easier to subtract than solve. Show your work. Okay, so what we're doing is 8 is close to 10. So I'm going to add 2 to 8 to make it 10. But whatever I add to one number, I need to add to the other. So I'm also going to add 2 over here. 52 plus 2 equals 54. And then we're going to subtract across. 54 minus 10 is 44, which is exactly the same up here. Okay, we just used compensation. We looked at different groups we could use to make it a little bit easier. Oops, sorry about that. A little bit easier to add together. All right, let's see. Let me adjust that. Okay, let's go here. Number 2 is 76 minus 27. Now, you could do it a couple different ways. You could add 4, because 76 plus 4 will take you up to 80. Or you could do plus 3. I'm going to do plus 3. 27 plus 3 will get me to 30. And 76 plus 3. 76 plus 3 is 79. So 79 minus 30, I'm going to count backwards. 79, 69, 59, 49. And that will be the same, 49. So let's try and get that second digit to be the ones that's in the groups of 10. So 15 plus 5 is 20. And we're going to do this the other way, where we don't add it to both sides. We're just going to drop down 52 over here. 52 plus 20, minus 20. 52 minus 20 equals 32. Now we added 5 here, so now what we have to do is we have to add 5 to the answer. So 32 plus 5 is 37. So we know that our difference is 37. We're going to do the same thing over here. 39 plus 1 will get us to 40. But we really have 93 minus 40. So 93 minus 40, that's 4 groups of 10. So 83, 73, 63, 53. 53, correct? Plus 1, because we added 1 here, we have to add here, gets us to 54. So we have a sum of 54. And again, feel free to pause the video as needed. And let's go ahead and go on to our independent practice page. Oh, I need to grab my tape. Excuse me just a second. I put it too far away from where I needed it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go on to page 293, our independent practice page. Let me get this tape. All right, here we go. Page 293, and we will get started here. All right, so let's take a look at this. We are just going to be, whatever we add on one side here, we're going to add to our difference right there. So let's see, 73 minus 9 equals, well, 9 is, if I add one more, that'll get us to a group of 10. So 73 minus 10 is 63, but since we added 1 here, we need to also add 1 to our difference. Plus 1 equals 64. So we have a difference of 64. All right, let's take a look at this one. 35 minus 16. Well, 16 plus 4 will get me to 20. So 35 minus 20, I know is 15, but I added 4 here, so I also have to add 4 here to get me to a difference of 19. All right, let's look at number 7, 28. 28 plus what will get me up to the next bigger group of 10? So I know that 28 plus 2 will take me up to 30. 43, we're just going to drop straight down. 43 minus 30, I know is 13. Now take a look at this. We had 13. If we added 2 here, we have to add 2 here. 13 plus 2 is 15. So we have a difference of 15. All right, this one, instead of adding it onto our difference, we're going to add it on to both of the numbers that we are subtracting. So let's see, 27 plus 3 will take me up to 30. And I'm going to add 3 over here. Whatever I did on one side, I'm going to add to the other. So 51 plus 3 is going to put me at 54. 54 minus 30, I'm going to do 3 groups of 10. 44, 34, 24. So we know that's going to be 24. And that will also be 24. So again, these are just 2 different strategies of seeing how we're using compensation numbers. Okay, 35 plus what will get me up to the next biggest group, plus 5 will get me to 40. If I add 5 on this side, I also need to add 5 on this side. So 74 plus 5 is 79 minus 40. I'm going to count backwards, 4 groups of 10. 79, 69, 59, 49, 39. So I get a difference of 39. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Normally we've been using the second digit. I'm going to use the first one because look at this. If let's see. No, let's go ahead and keep it the second digit. I have 21. Instead of adding, look at this one, I'm going to subtract 1. So 21 minus 1 is 20. And 99 minus 1 is 98. 98 minus 20 is 78, so we get the same difference of 78. So again, this is a different strategy. We can see that we can add as well as subtract. When we're so close here, We don't really add 9 because we have to add 9 over here, and that would be a lot more adding. But if it's close to that group of 20, we can just subtract 1 and get to 20 here. Okay, our higher order thinking. Yoshi says that to find 91 minus 32, she can subtract 2 from both numbers. Then subtract using mental math. She says the answer is 59. Do you agree? Well, let's see what she did. 91 minus 32. So she subtracts 2 over here. Subtract 2, subtract 2. So 32 minus 2 is 30. And 91 minus 2, we're going to count backwards, 90, 89. So you get 89 minus 30 equals. So 89 minus 30. And I'm going to count backwards 3 times of 10. So 89, 79, 69, 59. So I get a difference of 59. So yep, that is exactly the same. She did the compensation instead of adding, she subtracted and did it to both sides. So we get the difference of 59. And yes, I agree. And I've shown right here how I agree because I tried it out and it works. All right, let's go and go to our back page. All right. Our math practices and problem solving. Solve each problem, show your thinking. There were some buttons in a jar. How many buttons are in the jar? We don't know. Some. Mrs. Kim puts 19 more buttons in the jar. Now there are 45 buttons in the jar. How many buttons were there to begin with? So we know there's 45 buttons, and we know she put 19 more in. So we're going to answer it this way because we need to find out how many there were at the beginning. So 45 minus 19, let's see. I'm going to add 1 over here to make that a group of 20 because that's easier for my mental math. And if I add 1 over there, I also need to add 1 over here. 45 plus 1 is 46. Now we're subtracting. So 46 minus 20. I'm going to count that back 2 groups of 10. 46, 36, 26. So we get 26. So there were 26 original buttons in the jar. Okay, number 13. Romy has 42 cards. Lisa has 75 cards. How many more cards does Lisa have than Romy? So we had 75 cards minus 42 cards equals what? So let's see, I am going to actually, 42 is close to 40, so I'm going to subtract 2 to make that 40, and I'm going to subtract 2. 75 minus 2 is 73. 73 minus 40, 4 groups of 10, 63, 53, 43, 33. So we have a difference of 33 more cards. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 14, our higher order thinking. Greg found 72 minus 24. So I'm going to go and write 72 minus 24. First, he subtracted 20 because he thinks it's easier. So let's see. He subtracted 20 from where? Use words to explain how Greg could have found the difference. So I guess what he decided to do was subtract maybe 4 from here, and 4 from here could be one way. Well, it says he subtracted 20, so I'm going to go subtract 20 here and 20 here. Let's do it that way. Okay, so 24 minus 20 is 4, and 72 minus 20 is 52. So you get 52 minus 4 equals something. And let's see, he's going to break this into 2 and 2. So 52 minus 2 equals 50, minus 2 more equals 48. So he got a difference of 48. So this is one way he could have done it. Again, this is higher order thinking, so these are a little bit different. They get us to think a little bit differently. But for his compensation, he decided to subtract a big old giant number, which I guess we could do that too to get it into smaller pieces. All right, let's take a look at our assessment. I'm going to read the instructions, and then you can pause the video, and we'll go over what we need to do. Use the numbers on the cards. Write the missing numbers to solve the problem. So 53 minus 28 is something, okay? Right here we have 53 plus 2. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we need to add to the other. We'll put our two sums in here and subtract across. So go ahead and pause the video, and then we will come back and check it. All right, so let's take a look here. We're going to add a 2 here because 28 plus 2 will bring us to 30. So look, I used our 2 card and our 30 card. 53 plus 2 is 55. So now 55 minus 30, I'm going to do 3 groups of 10. 55, 45, 35, 25. And now we get a difference of 25 right there. All right, great job, everybody.